And then he turned around and he went back. So I'm like, man, okay, so that's cool. I got to, now this happened between 17th Avenue on 46th Street, 17th Avenue, and going towards 12th Avenue. I got to the light at 12th Avenue, and the house that I'm going to is on 46th Street and 10th Avenue. As I'm crossing over to 12th Avenue, there is a brigade of cops. I mean, it was like, truthfully, I think I may have counted 8 cars. I may have tried to count 8 cars. And here's what I want to get you all to understand. This is something I want y'all to remember for the rest of your life. If you're in a car, y'all not driving yet, right? But remember this. If you're in a car and the police come up behind you, before you stop, you should do 2 things. This is what I realized, you know, after this incident was over. I realized this and I said, man, if I get it, I got to make sure young brothers know this. You should do 2 things. If a car is behind you, a cop car is behind you, there's 2 things you should do. The first one is turn the radio all the way off, all the way down, so that you can hear what may be said. Turn the radio all the way off. The second is roll your window before you stop. Before you stop, what I'm trying to tell you is everything that you got to do with moving your hands, get that done before you even stop, right? And then by the time you pull over and stop, put your hands on the wheel where they can see. Do not move your hands from that wheel. Now I'm telling you, this is based on an experience that I had. First thing you do when you see them come up behind you and the lights are on, turn the radio all the way down. Ooh. Don't turn it off. Turn it off. Don't turn it down. Turn it off. Turn the radio off. The second thing you should do is let your window down, that they're going to come up, your driver's side window, let that window all the way down, and then put your hands on that wheel. Make sure you stop. Because you know what happens? If, when you pull over and you still got your window up and the radio down, and they're behind you, what they're going to see is you moving. They're going to see you moving, they're going to see you doing something, and they're going to automatically come with an aggressive attitude if they don't shoot you already because they see you moving. You want to be as still as you possibly. Once that car stops, you want to be still. Do y'all understand that? Hold on, I'm gonna get to you. You want to be still. You want to have your hands where they can see them. Listen to what I'm telling you all. Guys have gotten shot because they're moving in the car, don't know what it is that they're doing. The police don't know what they're doing. They think they could be reaching for something, maybe a gun, or reaching for, you know, whatever it may be. 2 things. Turn the radio all the way off. You can still be driving. When you see them lights, turn the radio all the way off. Put your window all the way down. Put your hands on the wheel. And guess what? They're going to then come up to the side of your car to start giving you instructions. Right? So what happened to me, I didn't do that. And I was so terrified because it was 8 cop cars that came up behind me. 8 of them. And I got the radio on, but you know what? I got my hands in the air like this. And they're screaming, hollering, screaming, yelling instructions. And then I finally, you know, let my window down. And it's like they came up on the passenger side, they came up on the driver's side, and they got their guns drawn at me, you know, and I'm terrified. When I finally get to turn the radio down, because they see my hands, it's important that you hear what they're saying to you. You got to be able to hear what they're saying. You cannot move in any way that may seem like it's aggressive or hostile. Guess what aggressive or hostile movement looks like? Y'all know what an aggressive or hostile movement looks like? while you're sitting in the car and they are behind you on the way up to the car, you know what it looks like? A move of this, a move of that. Any movement at all can be interpreted as an aggressive movement. So when they came up to me, hollering and screaming, I'm like, man, what's going on? What did I do? Give me your license. Then they start asking me for license and insurance. I said, listen, my insurance and registration is in my glove compartment. Can I get it? They got a guy over here on this side, not a guy, several guys on this side telling me to go in the glove compartment slowly. Really, I wanted to tell them, y'all come and get it, man, because I'm fearing, I'm nervous, I'm scared. I don't even want to reach with them telling me to go ahead and reach for my glove compartment. But I do it, I comply, I give them my license, I give them my registration, I give them my insurance. All of this, they still around me. So when they finally come back and they see everything is clean, you know what they told me why they came at me? You want to know why they came at me? Because I fit the description of somebody. Apparently there were a rash of carjackings where they were jacking BMW X5s. I was in a BMW X5. This is what they told me. I was in a BMW X5 and there had been a lot of carjackings of that particular vehicle. I believe that that's the story that they were giving me. Now, they probably was looking for somebody in a BMW X5, but to say that there was a rash of carjackings in a BMW. Apparently, black men were jacking folks with BMW X5s. And I just saw it. This is in my neighborhood, where I grew up at in Liberty City. This ain't in Aventura. This is in my neighborhood. But because I fit the profile, which guess what? In law enforcement, that is a tactic. That is a policing tactics, profiling, where they look for certain suspects that fit a certain criteria of crimes and violations of law. Unfortunately, this here, look at it. This beautiful little brown face is a reason for them to pull you over when they want to. And let me tell you what's even worse. Come here, stand up. You, come here, stand up. Come here. You know what's even worse?
Yeah. You're two black males.
To be big
Hello.
and black
Hello.
is threatening.
Yes.
To be big and black is a threat.
To police.
Is a threat. So if you little husky and you got a few little,
Muscles.
I know I don't see nothing right there. You got a few little muscles. You cannot be intimidating or menacing looking at the police.
Profile.
Because guess what? Not only is it an invitation for them to mess with you, it's also one for them to get aggressive with you. They want to see a big one. If you got a little weight on you and you look a little tough, you cannot be aggressive in answering them. And listen, go ahead, brother. Y'all sit down. Listen, let me say this to you. I hear a lot of brothers who are in the movement, for equality and equal rights and making sure that we are not the subject of these type of vile attacks. Say we shouldn't have to, be emasculated because of police. Let me say this to you. You're a big one too. Let me say this to you. You got to do what you need to in order to get home. Right? do what you got to do in order to get home. I ain't telling you to be no punk. I ain't telling you to be soft. What I'm telling you is, you got to do what you got to do to get home. If they're wrong, sometimes they may get away with violating your rights because they have the authority to do it. If you can somehow walk away from that situation and somehow have it documented, then you fight it in the courts. Fight that way. We have to be able to fight up here. This here is where we win. Right up here. And you know what? You know why they try us? Because they don't think we have the capacity to be able to withhold our anger. We don't have the capacity to be able to withstand injustice as it is happening. So we're going to act out with what we feel is our right to be able to act out and to be brutish and be angry and to be mad and to challenge them. Listen, you ain't winning that fight. Understand what I'm telling you. You're not winning a fight where it gets physical, because guess what they're going to do? They're going to get on that phone and they're going to call the brigade if they don't have it already. You ain't winning that fight. Why? Listen, why go through the sweat? Don't get yourself sweaty. When I say comply, that don't mean you subjugating yourself to being less than a man. And you know what? It's gonna feel like that. It's gonna feel like that. It's gonna feel like, man, these so-and-so, they, but you know what? You got to do what you got to do to get home and to be able to fight it up here. You got to get home. They don't mind shooting you. They don't mind shooting. And listen, it's not even with cops. I'll give you another experience that I just had, and I was in Toronto. I was in Toronto, and I went into a store to buy souvenirs. And there's a lady of Asian descent. It was really nasty. And I got upset. I told her, I'm not spending my money here with you. And you know what I wanted to do? I mean, there was a righteous indignation. I wanted to just take the stuff I had and throw it on the floor. But then I remember